installing your first wig, but you don't know how to customize, install, and melt your lace frontal? Don't worry sis, cause this video is all you need. I'll be giving you the gems and tips to achieve the ultimate melt from start to finish. So guys, the wig that we're gonna be working with today is this 13x4 lace frontal wig that I got from Temu. Now, if you see this wig, it needs a whole lot of customization. It needs bleaching the knots, it needs some plucking, and right off the bat we're gonna go into bleaching the knots. The bleaching powder that we're gonna use is this one right here, but you can use any bleaching powder that you can get from your local beauty store. And I use this 40 volume developer, but if you're a beginner I would suggest you go with 30 volume developer or 20 volume developer. Pour an 1/8 cup of the bleaching powder into the mixing bowl. With the volume developer, I just basically eyeball it, but you want the texture of your mixture to be like toothpaste, if that makes sense. So I'm now mixing the mixture using a plastic spoon, and I would highly recommend you guys to put on gloves while doing this step because you do not want the bleach to burn your hands, because this is chemical and it burns. Okay, now since my mixture is too watery, I'm gonna add some more bleaching powder just to make it more thicker and look like toothpaste, basically like this. Spray some got to be free spray along the hairline of the wig and use a hard brush and comb the hair backwards away from the lace. I flip the wig inside and out and start applying bleach onto the lace using this wooden stick. I love applying the bleach starting from the back. That is because the knots in the back tend to be more bigger than the knots in the front, so I always start from the back. So right now I flip back the wig and I'm just applying the bleach to the front knots. So I let this bleach sit on my lace for about 15 minutes, but I kept checking my knots every after 5 minutes. But the time period may be different with your knots, babe. You click. I washed off the bleach off camera, but these knots are giving like they're coming out of my head, right babe? And if so, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and let's jump into plucking this unit. With plucking, the first thing that I definitely do is pat out my wig to either a middle parting or side parting, depending on the parting that I want to do. Then spray some water onto the hairline of the wig because we're gonna pluck our wig while it's wet today. The next thing that I do is pat out the baby hair that I'm gonna use from the rest of the hair. I do 2 baby hairs on each side, one on the temple and one on the tendril. Using a rat tail comb, I pull out all the pre-plucked hair from the middle section I'm going to pluck. And when I say middle section, I mean from where the middle parting starts to where the temple baby hair ends. Then start plucking using some slant tweezers, and I pluck in a way of pluck a line, skip a line, pluck a line, skip a line. I would suggest when you're plucking, do not skip huge gaps because then you're not creating a realistic hairline. You want to keep the gaps real small so as to get this realistic hairline. Nowadays I'm into plucking the wigs while the hair is wet. That is because it is very easy for you to pluck out the hair, and it is very less likely for you to tear or create holes in your lace. After me plucking this area, I pull out all the hair that I've been plucking and pluck behind it. Basically the middle section I pluck 3 rows, and on the side I pluck 2 rows, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm just doing the same thing, pluck a line, skip a line, pluck a line, skip a line. Now on the sides I pull out the pre-plucked hairline and I start plucking behind it in a pluck a line, skip a line, pluck a line, skip a line motion. I just basically follow the same steps I've been doing earlier. The only difference with the sides is that I just only pull out the hair once. Use less energy, do not pluck in the same area for a long time, and yeah, you're good to go. When all that is done and said, I push back the hair that I pulled out and I lightly and slightly start plucking the front hairline. I don't want you to overdo this because remember, you've been plucking, but you want to just create a realistic hairline. So after me plucking the hairline off the wig, I start plucking the baby hair because baby girl, you do not want to have thick baby hair because that's fake. Okay, so after the plucking process is done, this leads us to the next step, which is flat ironing this wig. So we're gonna flip our wig inside and out so as to tint our lace to match our skin tone. I use a darker shade compared to my skin tone just because I have discoloration around my forehead. You want to spray with a holding spray so as not to transfer the makeup anywhere. Then I go in with a blow dryer to dry the holding spray so as the holding spray can dry, and after that, baby, your makeup won't be transferring. Okay, so I work with 2 or 3 tracks of hair while flat ironing at a time. Basically, I go in with the rat tail comb 2 times, and then afterwards I go in with the hard bristle brush 2 times as well. I can do more than those times, but at least 2 times each comb. You get what I'm saying? I use Fantasia heat protector spray on every section that I'm flat ironing. Baby, can you see how bouncy and flat this section is? Like, come on now, that is flat. You need to just like and subscribe because I'm giving you the tea. I'm giving you, can you see how flowy that hair is? Like, it is flowy, it is straight. Like, what, girl? This is really straight, and if you don't like, subscribe. What are you doing? Because I'm giving you the tea, I'm giving you the gems, I'm giving you the hacks, I'm giving you the tips. Okay, so this is the final look. As you can see, the lace frontal is flat, the hair is very much well straightened, and baby, this wig is ready for install. Like, trust me, this install is gonna be fire. Cause girl, look at this. Look at how flat that lace frontal is. So we're gonna start off with pushing our edges first using this Got to Be Girl in a yellow bottle, and also this edge brush that I got from Timo. And I love to work in sections. I start with the middle section and just gently push my edges back. Do not mind my corners. I know they are dirty, but girl, you did not come here for the dirty corners. You came here for the install. Okay, after pushing them back, I'm just going in with the fan and making sure that they stay in place because you do not want them to go out of place. Now, if you're an OG to this channel, you know that I love using penny holes. So this is where you want to cut your penny holes, and I use these small scissors to gently cut the penny holes off the cloth. I love this because they are very stretchy, transparent, and cheap. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just putting the penny holes on my head because this is our bald cap. This is our cap, okay? I'm sorry guys, I lost a clip of me cutting off my ears, but just make sure that your ears are cut off like this. They should be out. Okay, so now we are going in with some Got to Be Free spray, and we're gonna spray this on our hairline. Make sure that you really spray it. Do not use a small amount and do not use a lot, just use enough. And then around my ears, I love to go in with the ghost band glue. I also use this spatula that I got from Timo to spread out my glue because when I cut the bald cap, I want that place to stay in place. After doing so, I'm now going in with the blow dryer on my room setting and just making sure that I dry everything. Now you're going to tint your lace, and I'm going to use that dark concealer in this palette, and I'm gonna tint my wig cap just so that it can kind of match my skin tone. After tinting the wig cap, I love to go in with the small scissors and cut off the extra wig cap. Make sure that you're very gentle in this step because you can easily cut yourself. So after cutting off the extra wig cap, I love to go in with the extra foundation that may have stayed on the dense brush and buff it along the wig cap just to remove any harshness where you've cut. Now I'm going in with some Aspro alcohol to make sure that I clean my forehead just to create a clean base for our wig install. That means you're ready for the install. Now I'm just putting on our wig and I'm putting it like I'm trying to see where I want it to be. Now I'm going to take a light concealer to mark out where I want my glue to be at, and I continuously use my last finger as a guide. You push the lace of the wig backwards and now you start applying the glue. I love to apply my glue in dots, and I'm still using the ghost band glue. Do not use too much glue and do not use too little, just use enough. And I'm using this spatula that I got from Timo to spread out my glue evenly. And as you can see, the lines that we marked out earlier are acting as our guide. Just make sure that you spread the glue within the marks you made, and after spreading your glue out, you can either let it air dry right? But if you do not have time like me, I go in with a fan just to make sure that I quicken up the process. And this is a thing that I emphasize for all of you watching me. Never apply a second layer or a third layer or a fourth layer on top of a layer that is still white. Do you see this right here? Baby, my glue has turned clear before I go in with the second layer. I love to use 3 layers of glue. This can last between 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but if you want a stronger hold for like a month and more, I would suggest you go in with 5 or 4 layers of glue. I just do the same step. Spread out my glue evenly using a spatula, and guys, a spatula, yeah, baby girl, you need. So now you can see me putting the lace onto the glue, and I want you to be very strategic with this. Make sure that you stay within the markings we made. So I'm tying down my lace for about 20 minutes because I want that glue to be stuck onto my skin. So after 20 minutes, I'm now removing off the elastic band. Here I'm using the small scissor to cut in between the lace, and I'm using our razor blade to cut off any extra lace that I do not want. Be very careful while cutting the lace because you do not want to cut your skin. So after me cutting off the lace, I clean off the marks using some alcohol because I do not want those to be seen. Okay, you can see there are some areas that don't have glue and I really need this lace on. I can't cut it off anymore, so I'm gonna apply glue to those areas using the gas band glue steel that I used. I use an end of a rat tail comb just because it's very tiny and it can go into those small areas. After everything is laid down flat, I'm going to go in with some darker makeup powder. So I apply this along the lace, and then afterwards I go in with this lace melting spray. You can use any spray that you can get, and putting it onto the lace using my fingers. Then afterwards I go in with the same elastic band we used earlier to tie our lace and make sure that it's secure. Okay, after about 20 minutes, I'm now removing off the elastic band. And baby, you cannot tell me this lace ain't melted. Like, come on, hit the subscribe button. So now I'm pulling out my baby hair that I had clipped backwards with the rest of the hair. Then I comb through my baby hair to make sure that it ain't stuck on the lace or it's not clamped together. Now I'm going in with a hot comb to make sure that my baby hairs are 100% straight. Okay, using this Fantasia spray tease, I spray some on an edge brush and I gently comb the hairline of the wig backwards so as not to interfere with our edges and the lace. Using the same spray tease, I tap it onto my lace using my fingers just to melt our lace further, cause why not? So after 20 minutes, I'm now removing off the melting band as usual. Girl, can you see how that front lace is melted? Baby, just subscribe. And yeah, I'm combing through my baby hairs once again to make sure that they are straight and ain't clamped together. Using some scissors, I cut my baby hairs in a slant motion. Using this pencil flat iron that I got from Timo, I curl my edges downwards, but you can either curl them upwards or downwards. It doesn't make any difference. And by now, wait, hold on. Subscribe. What are you doing? Make sure you subscribe, okay? I put some Got to Be gel on the back of my hand, and since the yellow one is more chunky, I smooth it out using my finger just to make it appear more gel-like. I spread that gel all over the whole baby hair, and using an edge comb, I start shaping my baby hair in a C motion. This is very hard to explain, but you just want to create C motions while you're shaping your baby hair. I now air dry it using a fan to make sure that it stays in place. I did the other baby hair off camera, and yeah, I know they don't look alike, they're meant sisters. So now I define my middle parting using this permanent marker that you can get from your local beauty store. I love my partings to be super defined, that is super straight, but if you're more of a natural parting, then I would recommend not to do too much. I then go in with a bright concealer, and using a flat brush, I draw a straight line to make sure that my middle parting is very much seen. I spray some spray teas on top of my wig to make sure that I have no flyaways. I melt my loss for the last time using the same spray teas by tapping it onto the loss using my fingers. Then I tie with an elastic band for about 20 minutes, and this install is amazing, gorgeous, fabulous, sophisticated. Never heard of her, and baby, I look good. This week is late, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and that is with your sister, your auntie, your nanny, your granny, your frenemy, your ex, your next, everybody and anybody in this world. Comment down below, cause baby, why not? I wanna see your pros, your cons about this whole damn video. Okay, I'm waiting and listening for the tea. And go, bye.